They are young, under 40, and already own a chateau. But who are they, and how did they manage to buy one?
Today, I want to share with you some interesting castle owners who are young, very young for some of them, under 40, some of them under 30, even some of them are castle owners under 25. So the first question that comes to your mind, I imagine, is how did they buy it? And this is what we will talk about in this video. The first castle owner I want to speak about is Edouard Guyot. Edouard Guyot bought his chateau in 2015 when he was only 23 years old. This castle is called Château de Vaux. Château de Vaux is located in a department of Aube, close to a city called Troyes, which is a very nice French city. It's 2 hours east of Paris. And the Château de Vaux is a really beautiful 18th century castle, but when he bought it in 2015, it was totally, it was not a ruin, but almost. There was no roof, I mean a tin roof, I think you say like that, a metal roof, and inside it was totally devastated. If you watch any of our previous video we made with him, you saw that it was totally destroyed. And since then, he already made a lot of work in almost 10 years, and now outside is totally restored. The facades, the roof, the structure, the wood frame, everything is perfect now. And inside also, he made a lot of work inside, especially on the ground floor. And it's already really beautiful. So he is on the good way to finish. Maybe in a couple of years, he will have finished the whole restoration process. But one question you may have is, how much did he pay for this castle? And in fact, he gave the answer in one of our interview we had, because on the French channel, we make regularly, almost one time per week, live interview with castle owners. And so they answer all the questions that our community in French are asking. And so he answers this specific question on how much did he pay. Watch.
C'est vrai que c'est une question qui très souvent revient lorsque je fais des visites guidées l'été avec des visiteurs sur le château, et j'y réponds sans aucun problème. Vaux était un pari en fait dès ma première visite. J'ai eu la chance de découvrir l'endroit grâce à un ami qui m'a emmené ici, et il y a eu un coup de foudre qui a opéré. Et juste après, je me suis démené pendant 6 mois pour essayer de trouver une banque qui me suive dans ce pari un peu fou, puisque je n'avais pas un sou. J'avais juste la passion de ces vieilles pierres que mes parents m'ont transmis, et j'ai ressenti vraiment quelque chose de très fort quand j'ai visité Vaux. Et je me suis dit que il n'était pas impossible de trouver une somme d'argent qui n'était pas, on va dire, déraisonnable. Vaux a coûté 500 000 euros. Bon, ça peut paraître beaucoup. À la fois, c'est très peu quand on voit la surface de bâtiment et les hectares. Donc, j'ai pu emprunter cette somme à une banque. Mais il a fallu toquer auprès de 6 partenaires bancaires, enfin 6 autres. Au total, il y avait 7 banques, je crois. Donc jusqu'au bout, ça a été un véritable chemin de croix. Mais la dernière a accepté, et un emprunt total sur 20 ans avec des charges à payer tous les ans, des traites mensuelles même. Donc voilà, mais c'est évidemment un principe d'autofinancement. On ne peut pas acheter un château comme ça, sauf si on a la fortune. Et en l'occurrence, ce n'était pas mon cas. Donc il a fallu trouver cet argent, ça a pris du temps. Et tout de suite derrière, je me suis retrouvé propriétaire avec l'ensemble des charges que vous pouvez imaginer sur l'entretien et sur le remboursement de l'emprunt.
So you see, for 500,000 euros, you can own a castle in France. But of course, owning a castle is a thing, but after you need also the money to restore it, which is in fact more expensive than the castle itself. He was smart. He was smart because he noted that in the outbuildings, in the dépendance, there was already, when he bought it, there was already a grange, which is typically a big hall, which was already ready to run, to work. And he decided to rent it for weddings. And it was a huge success, and especially with his good idea to create just next to this grange a place for we call dortoir for people to sleep there during the wedding. And it was like only beds, 80 beds that people can sleep on when they are at the wedding. And it's really a big asset, especially in this region, because he was not only, but one of the only ones who was able to provide this kind of service for weddings. And as you know, when you are at the wedding, you have the tendency to drink some good wine or champagne in this region, and you cannot drive. So it's a very big asset to have this place where you can sleep. And so quickly he received incomes, even if the castle was not open for the public, even if the restoration didn't start yet, he received a lot of income, substantial incomes from the wedding. And I think what he spoke about the bankers that refuse and finally one say yes, I am not a banker, but I imagine that the fact that in this project there was this business side quite ready from the very beginning, it was an important point for the banker to say yes, because he knew that incomes will arrive quite quickly for the castle. And except that, he also was able to make some dossier file in English to receive money from the state. Because in France, there are different administration and institutions who can help you and provide you some funds to restore a castle, a classified castle, which is also an interesting and important fact. I could also make a video about this if you are interested, to explain you the difference, different type of classified monument, tax breaks that you can have, thanks to the fact that the chateau, the castle, is classified. I can make a video about that. If you are interested, tell me in the comments. And if you have other idea of topics that I could speak about, tell me please in the comment and I will do my best. I have a lot of experience. I met 100 of castle owners, visited 500 plus castles during these last 10 years. And I have also the chance to have a good network in France about castle administration, etc. Thanks to So Châteaux, so don't hesitate, and I will do my best to try to help you. Even if you want to buy a castle or restore one, I can give you some advice about this and make a video, no worries. But in any case, Edouard made a very good plan for the restoration in several milestones. He has several milestones. The west side of the facade, the center, the east side, the roof, etc., on several years. So he's quite well organized and really serious about what he is doing there. And you can follow him on social media. And I will also publish soon enough a video about him, the first video we made in French. And I will do it in dubbing this time, so you can appreciate this long process from the very beginning. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more video of this type, and I will do my best for this. The second castle owner I would like to speak about is an interesting guy. As Edouard, it's one of my favorite, coup de cœur you say in French. It's Antoni Calmon. Antoni Calmon is a doctor, French doctor, esthétique, French doctor.
Est-ce que tu as quand même fait des études un petit peu dans l'art et la restauration? On sait que tu es médecin, mais est-ce que tu as eu l'occasion de vraiment faire des...
J'ai beaucoup étudié la restauration de la ride du Lion et de la ride de l'Amertume, mais pas trop celle de la façade en craie. Mais comme ça répond à une question que j'ai vu passer aussi tout à l'heure. Non, mais c'est une passion. Enfin, ça a trait à l'esthétique. Donc forcément ça me touche.
And he bought a castle which is located in the same region of Édouard Guyot, so really maybe 30 minutes away from Château de Vaux, which is called Château de Dampierre. Château de Dampierre and Antoni Calmon. Antoni Calmon has a YouTube channel that we are managing, in fact, So Château. a YouTube channel in English for you guys, in English, where he's sharing his story as a restoration process. But here in Dampierre is totally different because he is not, the goal is not to open it for the public and to make a business. It's to make his countryside house, because he's living in Paris and he wants to come here in the castle to with friends and family to spend good time, etc. But the restoration process, and especially the buying process, is interesting, because if you didn't watch his video on this on his YouTube channel, he was speaking about this, how he bought the chateau. And this is really interesting because he has been to, in fact, he has a connection. He was interested about castles since a long time, since he is really young. And in his mind, as a doctor, he was thinking that after a few years, when I will put some money on the side, I will be able to buy a castle. But the plan was not to buy the castle when he bought it. In fact, not at all. But he was already watching, looking at the castle on internet. He has some connection with real estate agents who are specialized in castle, especially one that I recommend, even if I don't know them personally, but I had a good, very good feedback from professional and castle owners. It's called Deniel Immobilier, and they propose very interesting castle, original castles, often castle who needs a restoration, and apparently they are very good at their job. And so if you are looking for a castle to restore, to buy and restore, this is, in my mind, the place to go. I will put the link in the description. Anyway, so he received a call from Guillaume Deniel, which is one of the two brothers of this real estate agency, who said, Antoni, there is a really interesting castle for sale. You should go, it's an auction sale, you should go there and see what can happen. And Antoni said, why not? I'm curious, I will go, even if I don't have the money. But he called his banker anyway to know if he could have a loan for this, eventually how much. And so he went to this auction, and with the price in mind that he receives okay from the banker, and he sat there. And starting the auction, it was not only the castle. In fact, there was several lots, especially agricole fields. A lot of agricole fields that a lot of agriculture were fighting for to buy fields for their activities. And so he saw the first lot was a field, really high price. A lot of bidding on them, and the second, the third, etc. the same, and happened the castle lot, only the castle and some land around, and so he was totally desperate, because in his mind he said, okay, I will not have it, but anyway I will try. So they start the auction. He said, okay, I'm interested for the first time. And finally, no one bid on him. No one. So he was the only one, and he was owner of Castle of Dampierre like this. And the price he paid for it's 675,000 euros. So he said it in one of his videos on his YouTube channel. So 675,000 euros. It's not so much again for this type of castle, which is a huge castle with in fact a châtelet in front, medieval châtelet, and behind the main house, the main castle. So they are face to face, and it's a big castle. And inside also that it needs a lot of restoration, and it will take a few years to do it. And he is currently making restoring the châtelet. We have been there lately to record also some videos that you will see on his channel soon. It's an interesting project. And as Edouard, they are both really authentic, really simple guys like you and me. And it's really interesting to see how they manage their castle. And that's it for Château d'Dampierre. I will put also the link with the original video we made, which has more than 1 million, 1.5 million views on this channel. And if you didn't watch it, I encourage you to do so. Third castle owner that I want to speak about is Guillaume Garb. Guillaume Garb also, he bought the castle of Carneville in Normandy, next to the city of Cherbourg, which is also a very nice region. And he bought it at 21 years old in 2012. Also a crazy undertaking for this young guy. And the goal there is totally different. He wanted to make something that is really open for the public, yes, but for the local communities. So he wanted to make a place where the local people can gather together, create events, and he even went further by making a place for companies to work in the domain. He has, for example, I don't know how you say in English, but horticulture. He has a lot of, in fact, farmers and people who are making stuff related to food and the grounds. So a boulangerie also, and maraîcher, I have no idea how you say in English. I will write it on the side, I will check. And horticulture. So he has a lot of activities and people who are working there for their own company, but respecting the philosophy of this castle, which are some rules about the fact you share, you open to the public, because even the companies, sometimes they make some activities for the public to discover the activities they are doing. And so, except that he had a hard time with his castle at the beginning, because they discover dry rot. You call it mérule in French, which is typically fungus, I don't know how you say it, champignon, which is typically eating the wood. And it was something really strong and big in one side of the castle. It was totally rotten, and so he discovered that after he bought the castle. So he didn't know before, and it was a huge problem because he didn't have the money to restore that. And so he fought, and he received public money for that, thanks to Fondation du Patrimoine, I think. But some organisms followed him and supported him to make the restoration of this castle. And now it's open for the public. He makes a lot of events, he receives a lot of people, and it's a huge success. So I am really impressed by these young guys. And both of them, the three I was speaking about, have really good intentions. It's really what I like. They are really trying to do their best and to give their life to this castle, and it's really fantastic. Fourth castle owner, it's a Guyot family member, but this time I ask for the sister, Alice Guyot, which is owner of Château de Bridoire. Château de Bridoire is located in Dordogne, the same region as their parents, the castle of their parents, really maybe 1 hour away from there. It's close to Bergerac, if you know the region, and not so far from Bordeaux, in fact. And so Château de Bridoire, interestingly, she worked there for several years, and she occupied different positions in this castle because the castle was owned by her parents. And she worked there, and she decided after a few years to become and to buy back the castle from her parents. And so she had, I imagine, good condition to buy it, better than if it was a stranger. But anyway, she had to take a loan again. And what I know about the price is that her parents bought it at 700,000 euro in 2011. And it's her parents who restored it. And so she received the castle after working there for several years. She received the castle in a good shape, in a good condition. But what she did, which is really interesting, is that she developed the activities and the number of visitors by 2. She multiplied by 2 the number of visitors, passing from 30,000 per year to 60,000 per year. How? In fact, she make a lot of activities for families and kids and children. And it's called, in fact, the Château des Jeux, which typically means the games, Château, where there are a lot of things outside the castle and even inside, really related to games. Also, she is a huge fan and passionate about animals and farm. And so there are also a lot of activities related to this. And she is really smart and strong by doing stuff that she is passionate about. And it's working pretty well, and I am really impressed by what she is doing there. And if you visit Dordogne, please go to visit Château de Bridoire, because it's not only interesting for the games and activities. Historically, it's really interesting in terms of architecture also. And so if you visit this, you will not regret, I'm sure. The fifth castle owner I want to speak about is Nicola Chenivesse. It's a really interesting story because Nicola bought his castle at the age of 20 years old. And so you may ask yourself, how the hell could he buy a castle at that age? And I have the answer. And it's not what you may think about. In fact, it's a sad story. When he was 18, his parents suddenly died together. So he received the inheritance, and instead of buying stupid stuff, he decided to buy an abandoned castle. And it's really remarkable to do that at that age, to have this mindset at 20 years old. And I am really impressed by this guy, but what he is doing. He succeeds also to make a huge community of benevolent volunteers who are helping him in his project of restoration, which is also a huge project. And he made a fantastic job there. He already restored the ground floor and the first floor with really good furniture, with taste, and people can already appreciate the castle very much. And there is a second floor that is not yet restored. And in fact, what is interesting also is that he is living there. He has a small apartment in the space that is not renovated. Instead of living like a king in the nice rooms in the floors that are already restored, he decided to live in the second floor that is not restored. Why? To let the nice floor for the public to appreciate the restoration. Nobody knows that, but I tell you, the reason why also I make this kind of video is to tell you things that you cannot know. Me, I saw that, so I tell you, it's really, he has really a good heart, and if you are coming in France, you really need to go there and to say hi, and you will participate by paying for your ticket, participate directly to the restoration of this chateau and to his project. And also Fondation du Patrimoine, I don't know if the website is in English, but you can also contribute because he just launched recently restoration project where you can participate. If you have the money for, and if you want to, you can give some money and to help him to restore the chateau. And especially this is about the facade and the windows that are really in bad condition, and he needs to change everything. And he doesn't have the money now for that, so he's making this project with Fondation du Patrimoine. I will put the link also in the description for those of you who want to help. So Nicola Chenivesse, definitely someone you should look after, and you can follow him on internet. The name of the castle, I don't remember if I said it, it's Château de Charme with ES at the end. Again, link in the description, you can check it. The next one I want to speak about is Jessica Angel. Jessica bought her castle at 26 years old, and the castle is called Château du Fay. Château du Fay is located in Burgundy. It's really interesting castle, and especially about the activities she is doing there. Typically it's a place for people to gather, as she said in the video we made together. And the goal is to make people come from different horizons and to make connection. And it's also an artist residency. And she's also making she's speaking in fact about important topics in our current society, about ecology, environment, good food, bio, etc., permaculture. All this kind of stuff are the main activities and the main purpose, philosophy of this castle. She has also some American backgrounds because she was working in US for a long time as an architect, and so she welcomed a lot of people from abroad, from US and different regions of the world, and it's an interesting place. And you can contact Jessica from So Châteaux. You will be well received there for sure, and I hope. And you can sleep there. I think there is accommodation. Not sure, but you should verify with her. But interesting castle and castle owner again. She also made some restoration there, and it's more modern. The furniture inside is modern, but the boiserie, the wood paneling, the structure is authentic, original. So she kept the essential parts of the original chateau. The last one I want to speak about is another member of the Guyot family, which is called Louis. Louis was the only member of the family that I thought would never buy a chateau, because we made several videos also with his parents, Catherine and Jacques Guyot, that I spoke about before. And when I asked him when you will buy a chateau, and he said, me, never. He's an artistic guy. He's a creative one. He's a video maker, in fact, filmmaker also. And finally, I learned by someone that he bought a chateau, by her mother, in fact, by his mother, in fact, that he bought a chateau in 2022. And I was really surprised. And I went there. We made the video with him also. And very interesting. He wants to make something about what he is passionate about again, the visual content and artistic mindset. And so he decided to create an immersive experience with like a spectacle inside, a show inside the castle with comedians and decoration, very good decoration. But when I went there the first time, it was not even restored, not even decorated, because I have been there just a few months, few weeks after he bought it. So I had the chance to see it before restoration. And you can see on this channel the video we made with him. You can see on this one or on the French one if you prefer the French version with subtitles. So this is the end of the first video in English. I hope you understood me and that you will forgive me for my mistakes. But if you appreciate, tell me in the comment and tell me also what kind of topics you want me to speak about. But I would like to share with you, as I do on the French side, or on the French community, I would like to speak and to connect with you and to share my experience as a filmmaker of So Château. I met so many castle owners and I have so many stories and things to share with castle enthusiasts like you certainly are if you are still here in the video. So hope to see you soon for the next video and I wish you a nice day. See you in the next one. Bye.